Today saint of February 9th is, according to ecclesiastical history, B. Eusebius of Caesarea, 265–340, who refers to the content of a letter from Saint Dionysius of Alexandria, 190–265, to Bishop Fabius of Antioch. The martyrdom of Saint Apollonia occurred as a result of the preaching of a fortune-teller, who had incited the pagan mob of Alexandria in Egypt to persecute the Christians. This happened before the persecutions ordered by the Emperor Decius, 249–251, as the letter of the saintly Alexandrian bishop recounts. Among us the persecution did not begin with the imperial edict, but preceded it by a year. Saint Dionysius' letter continues with the account of the torture inflicted on an old man named Metra and a woman named Quinta, both stoned to death, and describing many other acts of violence by the pagans who, by common consent, in this situation, the martyrdom of Apollonia, now an old woman, occurred, which Dionysius describes as a virgin of admirable qualities. The saint, raised in faith in Christ from childhood, and who had lavished herself in service to other Christians, was captured by persecutors who made all her teeth fall out by striking her jaws. After her they lit a fire and threatened to burn her alive if she did not repeat the impious formulas with them, which consisted in denying Christ. Faced with the AUT imposed by her executioners, and preferring earthly death to apostasy, Apollonia herself, without waiting to be pushed, threw herself into the flames, a gesture that was born from her contempt for her sin, from which her own persecutors admired her in a last and supreme call to conversion. French abbot Prosper Guéranger, 1805–1875, proclaimed a servant of God in 2005, described the saint's martyrdom as follows: Apollonia, how valuable is yours? Far from frightening you, the fire of the bonfire attracts you and you run to it like a paradise of delights. In the face of sin, death seems sweet to you, and you do not notice that the cruel hand of men rushes you into it. This courage admires our weakness and, yet, the fire that you prefer to apostasy and that, in a few moments, will give birth to an endless bliss, is insignificant compared to the eternal fires that the sinner defies all hour. These things of the saints scandalize the worldly, they find them exaggerated, rash, fanatical, because the saints see beyond what their sight reaches. Have mercy on us, pray for sinners. Open their eyes to the dangers that threaten them. Teach us the fear of God so that we can avoid His justice, and make us start loving Him at once. Patron saint of dentists, invoked by the faithful suffering from dental diseases.